Hello. How are we all today? We okay? Yeah? If I asked you individually, what would you say? You okay? Would your answers change, or would they be similar? My best guess is that it would be something on the lines of, I'm okay, I'm fine, thanks. Maybe I'm a bit busy, if we've got time to reply. And then we do this social dance, don't we? We offer it back. I'm fine, how are you? And when we're doing this, are we checking in with how we're feeling? Or are we on autopilot? What would it be like to actually answer that question and actually check in with how we're feeling in that moment? A lot of the research that's coming out right now, a lot of the work that I'm doing, I'm hearing that many of us are not okay. And that makes sense. We've been through a global pandemic for the last 2 years, the atrocities we're seeing across the globe. I'm thinking about the Ukraine. Many of us are feeling very uneasy right now. And some of us have experienced great pain and loss. I asked my business partner's husband how he was, as he sadly just lost a really close friend, and he said, I'm okay. And I thought, really? Are you really okay? And that makes me fast forward to my own funeral, and I think, gosh, have I got to play this clip? I can imagine them all sat there, my friends. You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. No, I'm dead. And if you're here, you're connected to me. Funerals are the one place where it's okay not to be okay. But I'm not the okay police. That's not why I'm here. There's a time and a place. So if you're in the supermarket and someone's saying, are you all right? They're just being polite. This is social normality. It's okay to say, yeah, I'm fine. How are you? And offer it back if we want to be polite. So what I want to do today is think about what gets in the way of us truly answering this question. And, more importantly, what stops us from asking others how they are. So, I'd like you to imagine you're at work, you're feeling really stressed and overwhelmed. Can you say this? Or do you put that mask on, you soldier on, we kind of keep saying yes to more things, we take more projects on, we do more stuff, we keep adding to that capacity cup of ours. Why is this? Why can't we say we're struggling? We might notice thoughts around, gosh, if I say what's really going on, are they all going to think that I'm weak? Are they going to think that I can't do this? Are they going to think that I can't cope? If I can't cope, they're going to think that I can't do my job. If they think I can't do my job, I'm not going to get that promotion. If I can't get that promotion, my career is not going to pan out how I envision. These are the stories that our minds tell us, aren't they? And if your mind is anything like my mind, these stories feel so real. They feel really true. So it feels really tricky to be vulnerable, to really think about how I'm feeling. We don't want to look different. Us human beings, we're hardwired to fit in, aren't we? We look what's around us. We don't want to be seen as different. What's contributing to this? Start thinking about those attitudes and those stereotypes that we all have. Where have they come from? Think about in your families. Did you talk about mental health? Was there conversations about this? What did you see at school? What were the conversations that were had? What have you read in the papers? What are the movies that you've seen? What is the narrative around mental health? Think about the language we use. She's crazy. He's as mad as a box of frogs. Have you heard that one? Would we ever describe someone with cancer as seeking attention? Would we ever say someone with a broken leg is making it up or being a bit dramatic? When my mum was first admitted to a psychiatric hospital, I felt ashamed. I felt I couldn't tell anyone, everyone's going to judge me, they're going to think, am I mad? Is my mum mad? Gosh, I was really gripped by that mental health stigma. Yet here am I, as a mental health professional. I should know different, right? Did my mum get any cards? Did she get any flowers? No. If she'd have been in hospital with a broken leg, she'd have been inundated. We were both trying to carry on. We were both trying to look okay, and we had our masks on. We just really struggle, don't we, to look vulnerable, and we really struggle with negative emotions. And we need to stop seeing negative emotions as a bad thing. We're human beings. We feel sad, we feel angry, we feel guilty, we feel upset. This is normal. This is what being a human being is. But we're very good at pushing it away, aren't we? Think about it. Think about how you were parented. Think about your experience as a child. You know, when you were upset, you fell over. Oh, gosh, just stop crying, all right? Pull yourself together. You are too old to be crying like this right now. Think about it. Was that said to you? Who's a parent here? How are you responding to your children? So much research. You know, we see a massive difference to how we parent girls and how we parent boys. What are we saying here? What is the message we are giving around displaying emotions and vulnerability? But it makes sense. We start thinking about this trap. There's this societal trap, isn't there? I've got to look like, this is my mask, got to look like I'm coping, haven't I? I've got to look happy all the time. Social media really plays into this, doesn't it? If I start looking at your Instagram account, what am I going to see? What would I see? If you look at mine, I'm basically paddleboarding or skiing the whole time. That's all I do. You're not going to see my trips to the dentist, my horrific failing teeth, or me going to see my parents in hospital. But it makes sense. This is what we're told, isn't it? You know, we want to look like everything's okay. It makes sense. We post the stuff that we're proud of. We post the stuff that we're happy about. But every time we're doing this, we're feeding into this idea that we've got to be positive. We've got to look like we're coping. And again, we're putting that mask back on. So if I can't show it, if none of us feel able to show this stuff that we all feel because we're human beings, how do we manage it? Where does it go? We're pushing it away, we're trying to avoid it, we're having a glass of wine, turns into a bottle, we're having a square of chocolate, we've eaten 5 slabs. What's happening? And all the time we are doing this, what is happening to our mental health? It becomes harder and harder to say, I'm not okay. It becomes harder and harder to get that support that we may need, until one day it might be too much and we literally break down. So, if we know most of us struggle to say it, we need to think about the other position. How can we get better at asking others how they're okay? This takes courage, doesn't it? We have this really annoying habit of asking questions in a way that elicits a positive reply. So in England, we've got this terrible way of going, all right, to ask if someone's all right. How can we respond with, actually, I'm all wrong? Okay? And we might notice thoughts around, gosh, I just don't know what to say, I don't know how to open up this conversation, what if I open it up and I get all this kind of stuff back at me, I don't know how to fix it, I don't know how to respond, what if I open a can of worms, oh my gosh, I've got to get back to that spreadsheet. This is normal. We're amazing human beings and we want to help. This is normal. In our line manager training, this is what we hear all the time. We can't fix it. We don't like to hear this, do we? We've got this amazing problem-solving kit up here, this brain. We are really good at wanting to fix things. We want to problem solve. And this is the one area where we can't. What we can do is provide that space where someone can tell us if they're okay, not okay, and they feel listened to and they feel heard. What we want is to create that gold standard. We want people to be able to talk about their mental health in the same way that we can talk about our physical health. And as I say this, think about yourself. Are you there? Can you do it? Is this something you can do in your friendship groups? Is this something you can do at work? Is there parity between how we talk about these two things? When people, us, feel compelled to lie, because that's what we're doing, and we have to tell our line managers we have backache, we have a migraine, we have a headache. When we don't, we're actually struggling with feeling overwhelmed, anxiety, depression. This is telling us about how safe we feel in our workplaces. And in our workplaces and in our friendship groups, we need to start checking in with one another, don't we? We need to start being courageous. We need to start asking. We need to be having these conversations. And the more we can see people talking, and the key bit is how people respond. So they're responding with compassion, with kindness, without judgment. We're not raising eyebrows, we're not rolling, we're not having sub-conversations. The more we can model that this is okay, the more we might start shifting our stories and our narratives around, can I do this? Can I speak up? Can I speak? So leaders, if you're watching, your employees are watching every move you make. When you speak, people listen. When you ask people how they are, this has an impact in your organisation. You have a ripple effect down your organisation. You need to be trained to spot the signs. You need to have the courage to know how to ask. And you need to be able to listen with compassion. So my final message to you is we all can have an impact in thinking about creating this safe environment. We all can help each other take our masks off so we can truly be that authentic, vulnerable, amazing human being that we all are. Thank you.